and relevant information. We don't hold back. Topics from ministry, life, marriage, and everything in between. So, buckle up, hold on tight. Here are your hostesses, Tara and Melody. Talk therapy. Sister, let's talk.
All right. Welcome. It's Talk Therapy. It is Tuesday. Oh, yeah, I'm still on Monday. It is Monday, and it is Talk Therapy. I am your host, Tara T. Stallings.
And I am Melody Manning. How y'all doing this evening? How y'all doing?
Yes. A lot of you guys have I posted early today. And listen, our topic tonight is dating over 40. Dating over 40. Yes. So let's get right into it. Melody, it looks like you're freezing up some.
Am I? Because I'm from what I'm seeing, everything looks good.
Okay. All right, let's get right into it. So listen, as a lot of you guys know, last week we didn't come on. We had some technical difficulties, but this week we are continuing our topic. We were talking about love, everything, relationships for the month of February. So look, we're in the second day of March. So we're gonna finish it up because we've had so many conversations, so many comments, so many statements, and we want to talk tonight just about dating over 40. Now we know dating in general can has its issues, but when we're talking about dating over 40, over 50, even over 60, the issues can be very different. They can be very different. So tonight we're gonna just talk about it, address some issues that a lot of you guys have mentioned in the past, and we just want to go. We want to just be candid. We're gonna be we are real, raw, and relevant anyway, but we're gonna be candid about the conversations and some of the issues that women have now. Also, because we're talking from a woman's viewpoint because we are women, but also men have expressed that they have some things that are difficult when it comes to dating over 40. Melody,
Well, you know,
I hear my grandbabies in the background.
it's a house full of children, So let me put some stuff in order right quick.
Okay. While Melody is preparing, so I'm gonna just continue on. So yeah, you guys make sure you go and like and share and like. Make sure you like our Talk Therapy page. Make sure you like Tara T. Stallings, our business page, our IG pages, Inspired by Melody, Let's Talk Tara. And look, if you are dating and you are over 40 or close to 40, you need to be listening to this talk show tonight.
Well, what I found, let's go ahead and just jump into the conversation. What I found is when it comes to dating over 40, a lot of us are dating in our hurt instead of actually giving the other person an opportunity to get to know us or whatnot. We're still dealing with past hurts, failed relationships, trauma from relationships, trust issues, just a number of things. So we really don't give, the person that may be attempting to date us at the time a real opportunity. And then secondly, a lot of people don't know what dating actually is. You've got a term for dating, and I'm sorry, y'all, but then you also, each individual person has their definition of dating. And a lot of times we miss out, and there's miscommunication on both parties' end of having, that talk about exactly what dating looks like. And then when you
Mhm.
get to a certain age, if you desire to be married, you begin to date with a purpose. And we need to talk about too what that dating with a purpose looks like. Because sometimes it's a little bit different than just your actual dating, especially when you're at the point of 40 and above. It's not like when you were dating when you were 20 years old, 18 years old, even at 30 or whatnot. But when you're 40 and older, dating looks a lot different for you at that point. It can,
Yeah.
let me say that.
Yes, I would say it can. It definitely can. And I like how you said, it's the difference in dating and courting and each individual definition, because see what one now there is a definition, but people come up with their own meaning to themselves of what things are. Because I've heard people say in the past they're in a situationship. you know, people have they we as people, we come up with some creative words and meanings of what it means to be in a relationship, to date. But a lot of times that is only conducive to meeting the needs of the person at the time. So I
Mhm.
think just going back and getting a clear definition between the two parties and stop assuming that your definition and their definition are cohesive will eliminate a lot of wasted time and heartache.
And that's why it's important. The communication aspect of it plays such a big part, and have those actual conversations of, okay, what does dating look like to you? What does a committed relationship look like to you? You even have to ask, what is your definition of that at this point? Because everybody has different definitions, and it can mean a lot of things to different people. Because dating the one person may be me and just you, and we're getting to know each other and we're focusing on each other. But dating to some people could mean that I'm dating you, I'm dating her, I'm dating
Mhm.
her and her and her and him, you know, and
And them.
yeah, and them, so it's kind of all over the place. So you have to have those conversations.
Definitely, you have to. And you know, I want to be real transparent. I want to be real transparent with our listeners tonight. I see you got questions being asked.
I'm
You
sorry,
play.
Carl.
Look, it's okay. It's we have to, as grandparents, we have to do what we do.
Thank you,
And look,
honey.
this
The
this
oldest one,
happens when you're over 40 and you're dating.
the oldest one,
you know,
will try to communicate that he gonna handle the smaller one. So I'm just like,
okay.
okay.
And, dealing with children and grandchildren, that's something that you have to talk about, because and I'm just going to be transparent. For me, I have I just recently, I mean recently said, okay, I guess I may want to start dating and, may want a husband, because I was like, I'm good. Not because I was hurt or I couldn't find anyone. It was just, I'm just so focused on what I have going on in my career and my purpose. I'm just like, I was just, and I'm still kind of, because I'm trying to move past it a little bit, that I wasn't in the market to date. I wasn't in the mindset to date, to be in a relationship, because that meant for me, I would have to give up some of my time. And I'm trying to get in the mindset that I want to give up some of my time now. So I'm just trying to get there. Let me just say that. Let me be honest. Let me just be honest. So, and it's okay. Because that's something that I decided, not because I was in a bad relationship or I couldn't find anybody. It was just something that I decided because I actually like me. You know, people listening may not, but I actually like being with me and spending time with me. I think I'm pretty cool, you know, and I'm okay. So, but when I was dating, and even as I began to date again, I won't say high standards, but I have standards that I require. I require. And let me tell you, one of them is I'm 50. That's the first thing. I'm not dating anybody. This is one of my, and it's flexible. Let me say that because, right now my heart says one thing, but God will surely have to change it. Let me say that. I don't want a man and he's 50 and above and he has a 10-year-old. I don't want that. I don't want a man that has a child that, they may have a high schooler, that's fine. But if they have a 10-year, and then it depends on um, the scenario. It depends on the relationship because I don't have my life is I'm not raising any more children. I'm not raising any more children. I'll help be a grandparent, but I'm not raising any more children. So I just decided, that's one of those things off my list. I'm not raising any more children. I know my purpose, my plan, and it doesn't have me raising children in it because I will be too busy living my purpose. And I would need a person that will, meet that. When I say meet that, that's in the plan of God for me. Go ahead. That's in the plan of God for me to live out my purpose, because when you're dating with a purpose to become married, because I'm not dating just to be dating, that won't happen. I won't be dating anyone just to be in a long-term relationship. It would be definitely dating for a purpose to get married. And like I said, I just kind of changed in the midst of changing my mindset about that because I'm good with me. Because I've gone through that, I've healed, and I really had to sit down and say, hey, what do I really want? So with that being said, I would need someone that I can add to their life and they can add to my life. And when I say that, when you're in a relationship, whether it's dating or friendship or whatever, people are supposed to add and multiply to your life. But so often you get in relationships, dating, and the person is subtracting and dividing your life. So you want to be careful when you are dating men and women that, like Melody said, dating with a purpose. Your whatever that purpose is, if it's dated just to be a booty call, listen, you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But you want to be careful, because that stuff comes with soul ties.
Yeah.
It comes with soul ties. So you really have to be, that's something we don't like to talk about, that part of it. When we're talking about dating, but that it comes with soul ties. So we really have to be careful when we're talking about dating. So and know, have your list, have your standard, and make sure, ladies, men, when you have a list, when you have a standard, it's not a superficial list. It's not a superficial standard. And if you don't know who you are, you might need to hold back on that list a little bit.
And that's very true. When we start to dating, that's why you got to be, your list, so you don't waste a lot of time dealing with people that don't fit any of your qualities, that you're looking for in a mate. We have to be mindful of what we want, that we're not settling for anything. And I'm thinking, I'm hope I'm using the right word, because some things can be compromised on, but then there are some things that you definitely want. And to have that, you got to spend that time with yourself. When me and you talk, I say it so much. I know what I'd like my home to look like when I come home every day, what I want to deal with in my house each day with a spouse, because I would like to be married, but I know how I want my house to look. And when I say how my house to look, I mean the atmosphere and the tone within my home, not a design, but the tone within my home. So I tend to look at everything about a potential mate. So if you're approaching me and we're having conversation, I'm looking at everything that you're saying, and not just what you're saying, what you're doing, how you move about in your own space. Is that how we want you to move in a space that we will have combined? These are the things that sometimes we tend to overlook when it comes to dating. And it's okay to go into that person's space at some point in dating, because you need to know how they move around, in their space, because that I talked to a person and they were interested, and then when I got in their space, I was like, nah. I can't do this, because I'm the type of person, I don't function well in a lot of clutter and disorganized, and even when I approach the conversation, hey, could we, even offer to help, and I was like, okay, so they're settled in this. And there's nothing wrong with that, because there's probably somebody, that is happy with that. But I just know what I desire. So a lot of times, like, we don't have a hard conversations. We have not made up our mind what we want and what we do not want. And then some, we don't stick to what we desire. Because I found that in conversations that I've had, with friends and with, just women in general, sometimes they get so happy and so excited that a man is interested, and you looking at the outer, you don't know that real man behind the scenes, because we have those different sides to us. You got to get to know all the different sides of them. They're one way in public when they're entertaining, they're another way in private, and then you got that real life. What are they dealing with in real life?
And asking those questions. A lot of times, when you start dating a person, men and women put on their best face. That's the person they're trying to impress you. They're putting on that best face. And what I notice with women, especially women that's over 40, they tell a man what they are looking for.
No.
And what happens is 9 times out of 10, he tries to be that exact person that they said they are looking for. But I've learned this, or she, let me say that too, because it's women. You got a lot of background noise, Mel. And men also, women also, what they do, they tell the woman, this is who I'm looking for. I'm looking for this type of woman. So they conform to this person to be the perfect match. But what I've learned is this: every actor has to lay his part or her part down eventually. So what I mean by that, people people will put on an act for 3 months, for 6 months, for 3 weeks, for 3 months, for 6 months, for 9 months, even sometimes a year or longer to be that person, but that's not who they truly are. So when you're dating someone, you need to get around their close friends and their family. Go to the family functions because they're gonna be their real self around their family. Because if they're not, their family gonna say, "Well, why you acting all funny? That's not how you act." They'll tell all your business,
Yep.
all of their business. So if you liking somebody, you really have to get around them and stop telling them, this is what I'm looking for. This. You don't have to do that. And that's the problem a lot of times. But I don't want a man that this, or I don't want a woman that's doing this. Listen, ask questions. Ask them what do they want to do for their future. Ask those type of questions, and you will get the answer that you're looking for without going through a list with them. You don't have to go through a list with a person. If you listen to understand and stop listening to respond, you will learn a whole lot more about a person. I'm trying to pick up our. Yeah, somebody says watch and listen long enough. What we do is we want to go, and especially I want to say this: what women do, I find this out, especially women. And it may be women 30 over 32, but I notice women over 40 and 50, they try to prove to the man that they are wife material.
And that's the wrong thing.
Amen, church. I want to get up and dance. That is the wrong thing to do. You do not need to be trying to prove to somebody that you are good enough. Let me say that. You do not, and men the same thing. You do not have to prove to someone that you are good enough. Be yourself, and being you is what that person is looking for. If those qualities that are in you, the natural qualities, then you will be a match.
Yep.
But don't try to prove yourself that, oh, I'm gonna be a good wife, or because of things and stuff, or you just want a man. Look, you might get a monster, or you might want a woman, you may get a monster because you're going about it the wrong way. Go ahead, Melody.
Let me add this, because we get caught up in that. Let me prove to him, let me show him how good a wife I can be. And we do that in the dating stage, not even the girlfriend stage. We'll do that in the dating stage. But more than likely, you can do all that. You can cook his meals. You can wash his clothes. You can take care of his house for him. But men are really looking for the woman that is pushing him to be a better man.
Real man.
And to be held accountable. Not can you wash dishes, not can you cook, and not can you fold clothes, because all that's a bonus. They want the woman that's going to push them to be a better person.
They should anyway.
Yeah,
and I want to
they should, but a lot of them are, and that's I'm just from conversations and situations that I've encountered with and from other women, listen to them talk. They did all of this, but the man, when he got ready to choose a woman, he chose the woman that was doing less and the woman that made him be accountable for his actions.
Yeah, but yes, because men have a real man. Let me say this, and I hate to use that word real man, but a man that knows how to respond and that's responsible. Let me say that. They they need certain things. And when you're in a relationship, again, a relationship should the person should be an addition and a multiplication to you, not a subtraction or a division to you on both sides. So you need to have a mate, men and women, where that person can add to your life, that you can add to their life. And when you're dating over 40, a lot of times, you know, the man already has his household established. She has her household established. So you have two different households, that's people, that's grown people that's taking care of themselves. So and hopefully they have careers, they have jobs, they're in a stable place, mentally and economically, financially, so that they're already doing something. So you look for someone, like Melody said, that can hold you accountable, that can help you level up. You want someone to help you level up, not to come in and dictate, but somebody that can help you in your weaker areas. Not that you're weak, but in your less stronger areas. You want to be able to balance out. You want to be able to balance out. So yeah, I was trying to listen. Yes, she said they got an interview face game on. Right. So I'm trying to read some of the comments. Okay. So yeah, so we really need to be, we have to be very careful and particular. And I'm just, y'all, this is real raw and real. I'm going to say this because I hear it too much. And then the woman is always complaining about the men out here. Keep your legs closed. Look, keep your legs closed. Stop giving it up so fast. If you that horny, you need to deal with it. You stop giving it up. Every time you get with somebody, you got to have sex with them. You don't even know that person. And let me say that. And I know I might sound like I'm fussing because I am, because then you get hurt and then he's no good. No, that's not it. This is what I teach the women that I talk to on relationships. If you cannot trust a man with your money, don't trust him with your honey. Period. If you can't trust him with your wallet, keep your legs closed. Keep your pocketbook closed. That's the old people could call it. Keep your pocketbook closed. We want to open up the pocketbook, but these days they want to open up the pocketbook between their legs and the pocketbook on their shoulder. Stop taking care of these men to show them that you don't need them. Listen, I think we talked about that damsel. We talked about that. Men want to know that they are needed. Mm-hmm. They need to feel like a man. Mm-hmm. They don't want you to be elite, but they need to feel like, hey, I'm coming in and I'm being an addition to your life, not a subtraction. I'm coming in and I'm making your life better, and you should be making his life better. Go ahead, Melody.
True. And I just want to say this. We take so much from a man when we're trying to prove our independence financially. Because we have to remember that that's a key, a very, very important thing. We have to remember we are built differently now. Men and women are built differently, and we do have to allow a man to be a man. Because when men are looking at a woman, they're looking at, is she going to allow me to be the man? Mm-hmm. They want to be the king. They want to be at head of the house. But we're so quick to try to prove, oh, I'm the better one. I'm independent. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. But you don't realize you're taking away from him. And men, they're not going to say anything. Most of them not going to say anything. But it does bother them. Some men actually get really offended if they take you out and you trying to, let me show my independence. I can lay my card on the table too. you know, and that then becomes a turnoff for men. So we need to stop that. And then we need to stop trying to buy men.
Oh, say, go slow on that one, Melody. Go slow right there. Go slow.
I hate to say
real
it.
Slow.
You know, we tend to attempt to buy men. And you're not buying that man. Well, yeah, you're not buying that man. Because if you can buy that man, anybody can rent him. And more than likely, you won't be the only one that's got a rental agreement on it.
Preach, mama. Preach, honey. Preach.
I mean, we have gotten away because we're trying to prove we are that good woman. We've gotten away from a lot of basic things. You know, you know, spending lots of money on a man, that don't keep a man. Because when your money run out, he gone. And
yes,
I'm gonna say not just men, because you got some men and some women. They'll sit there, they'll smile with you, they'll Netflix and chill with you, they'll go to the family events with you, they'll put on their suit, sit up in church with you, as long as you spending $1.
Yes.
And that's not what you want. Because more than likely when you get sick or your dollars run low, or you have a life-changing event, you won't be able to find it. So a lot of it, and we've talked about this over and over and over, you got to be comfortable with yourself. Know what you deserve. Know what a healthy relationship looks like to you. That's the important thing of it. Know what a healthy relationship looks like to you. And give a man, I can't stress this enough, give a man an opportunity to be a man. Because if you are starting out catering to him, you know, and you have some men that will stay involved because that's what they're looking for in a relationship. When he do find either another woman that's spending more than you, or either he's tired of pretending, he's gone and you mad. But you got to go back and think about what it took to get your honey. Because my grandma used to say all the time, you got to keep doing what it takes to get your honey. So if you start out doing that, you can't change it up in the middle of the game. So we have to really think about what we want to give. Now, it's nothing wrong with doing for your significant other when they become your significant other. When they become that committed relationship.
Wait a minute. Stay there. I don't want you to go too fast when you say that, because it's so many people that, you know, they went out on 2 dates. And they just went out on 2 dates, and the next thing you know, they out at the mall. They doing this. They already got their last name. Listen, and men too. Men do the same thing. They move too fast. They talk to you on the telephone one night. I had this one guy wanting to move me to Florida. I don't even know you. You don't know if I'm a serial killer. You don't know me. We talked on the telephone 3 days, and after 3 days, you want to know, hey, you want to go to Florida? I got a house in Florida. I'll take you to Florida this weekend. No. Men, women, stop trying to hop and go somewhere with a person you do not know. You don't know these people. People are con artists. They are great liars. Stop doing that, and stop dating people when you are hurt. Melody said it when she first started. Too many people, when we first started tonight, too many men and women are dating from a hurt place. Erykah Badu says, bag lady. That was the song that she said, bag lady. Who gonna help you pack who carrying all those bags? You bringing one bag to the next relationship. So you got 10 or 15 bags that you carrying in a relationship that you are not, all this baggage. You need to heal. So many women are afraid to be alone, and men also. I'm not going to just say women, because I talk to men also. They are afraid to be alone, that they will take anybody that's there. If you listen, Linda, listen. If you don't like spending time with yourself, if you don't like being alone with yourself, why do you think somebody else does? If you don't like being with you, because I hear people say, well, I don't like being alone. Well, if you don't like being alone with you, how can you expect somebody else to be alone with you?
Yep.
Melody?
That's true. Very, very
Kelvin,
true.
how are you? Kelvin is on tonight.
Oh,
Kelvin, hey, yes. That's the love coach from Atlanta, yes.
But let's say this with, and I want to talk about this also right quick, Tar. One thing I noticed from women over 40, and dealing with a lot of things, is that we tend to look at the age, and we want to move things fast. We have to remember, you can't move things fast, but you can't sit in one spot long.
Yes.
So when I say that, get to know the person, have those conversations, even have those hard conversations. If you get to a committed relationship, do the age, because you want to spend some of your vibrant time, enjoying your partner, whatnot. So when you're dating over 40, you can't be nobody girlfriend for 15 years. Unless that's what you desire to be. Let me say that. But if you're dating with a purpose, you'll have 15 years to date.
Yeah.
But don't move so fast till you're caught up in something that you're going to regret wasting your time and longer down the road. But also, like you said, be observant enough to know and be strong enough to walk away from something that does not fit your life.
Yeah. One of the viewers said this: many single ladies are taking anything from a lonely place, and that's a trick from the enemy. And it is. Women get lonely and they start saying, you know what, I'm never gonna get married. I'm gonna be alone for the rest of my life. And they believe the hype that, it's not enough men out here. That's a lie. It's plenty of men in the world.
Yes.
We listen to what society says. All the good men are dead, or they in jail. If they in jail, they ain't all that good, or they, or they like other men. So listen, it's plenty of men out there. The word says this, women: he that findeth a woman, a wife, finds a good thing. You have to put yourself in a position where you can be found. See, too many women say they want a husband, but they want to get found at the club or at the hookah bar or the hookah bar, whatever you call it. Look, you not usually, if he at the club, he ain't ready to get married. He ain't ready to settle down. If he hanging out every night, he's not ready to be in your husband. It says listen, I'm gonna slow that down. He that he has to find you. You don't have to find a husband. You don't have to go looking for one. You have to let me just say this also. If you want to be married, okay, you cannot be a wife after you get married. You have to be a wife before you get married. So you have to prepare yourself to be a wife, and start acting like a wife. Stop acting like something else and expecting a husband to find you. And I'm so glad that Kevin is on, because he said something last year at our Life, Lies, Love, and Relationship. He said this: if you want a man of higher caliber, you have to go where that man of higher caliber is. If you want a certain type of man, you have to get found where that certain type of man may be. One example Kevin gave, and I just shared that, Kevin, I took that and I shared that with one of my clients. Listen, if you're going to travel and you're looking for a certain type of man, 6, 7-figure man, 8-figure man, he does not ride coach or economy. He rides first class. He rides first class. So you need to get you some first class tickets. It's certain places that the man that you're looking for, and you need, and I don't want to go, I'm using that in general. You have to be there where he can find you. If you looking for a man of God that's dripping with the anointing of God, that means you need to go somewhere where you think that man might be. And it's not always at church where he may be.
Nope.
You have to be in position to get found. Being at home thinking God gonna send your husband, he is not. He is not going to send you a husband. He said he that finds. So that man is looking to be found. He is looking. He's out. He's the hunter. He's looking, but if you're not there, he cannot find you. So when you walk out your door, you get to walk out your door looking like the wife you expect to be. Stop wearing those sliding shoes and them bonnets on your head, ladies. Stop it.
Yeah, because you never know who you may cross paths with, and that saying, first impressions do go a long way, so you have to be prepared. When
somebody
you
asked this question, they said, where do you find, this is a question that came from one of our viewers, where do you meet men over 40 who want to date? Well, first of all, you have to see, what type of man are you looking for? And then you have to depend. Me, myself, like I said, I just decided I wanted a husband. Kind of. I ain't really kind of. Kind of. That's bad to say, but kind of. You have to be prayerful. You really, for me, I'm talking for me. I'm prayerful. God to lead me in the right path. It's kind of like Ruth and Naomi, hey, get in his pathway. We always talk about we looking for our Boaz. Well, she told her, look, go get in the pathway. Get where he can see you so you can be seen. So you have to be prayerful. Be prayerful. Say, Lord, where do I need to go so my husband can find me? Sorry. Keep my thing. So you have to be prayerful. Where can I go? And be ready for him. Be looking for him. Be expecting him. You may see him at the grocery store. You may see him at Walmart. You may see him while you're pumping gas. But always be ready and be on the lookout. Hey, my husband might find me any day if that's what you're looking for. I want to be ready when he sees me.
And let me add this, Tara, and this is something too. When you say when we were talking about you have to be comfortable with yourself, I have no problem going somewhere by myself. Mm-hmm. The person was asking, where do you find men? Well, when you're talking about a man of a certain caliber, especially if you're talking about, let's just say, money, the financial end of it. Because let's be honest, all of it is not the financial when you're looking for a mate. But if you know you want a mate of a certain financial standing, you definitely need to go where they are. Meaning you need to visit the type of restaurants that they're going to visit.
Broke out a little bit.
You know, uh, if they're going, because they're going to go to high end restaurants. Most of the time, people of a certain financial bracket, they're concerned with their health. They're eating a certain type of food. That's where you need to be. And it's okay to go by yourself because you just may get noticed by yourself. You're sitting at that bar, by yourself. So go to those places. And it doesn't have to be a financial strain if you're not in that financial bracket. Know how to go to happy hours. Get your appetizers. Enjoy yourself. And just make yourself approachable.
Oh, yeah. Say that again, Melody. Because I think a lot of women are not approachable.
Make yourself approachable. And I can say this, and what makes me say this is because I have been told, "Ooh, girl, relax that face. You look like you mad with the world." So I have to be conscious about my facial expressions. I have what they call it, the rest and be face. I can be happy. Nothing's wrong, but looking at my face, you'll think, oh, something wrong with her. So I have to really be conscious of my facial expression. So you have to make yourself approachable. Look like you're engaged in what's going on. If you want a man that's into football, when it's football time, you need to go where they watching the football game at.
Yeah.
Strike up conversation. It's not hard to do. You never know who you may meet in these different places, but you need to make yourself there. Again, like she said, you have to make yourself where you're able to be found. You can't sit on your sofa and expect to be found unless you got a maintenance man or somebody coming in, on the regular that may find you, doing some work at your house or something. But you got to get out and, make yourself available. And just one quick thing, too. I want to share this, Tara, right quick.
Okay.
If you're female and you're going out, if you're going out with girlfriends, be mindful of the type of girlfriends you take with you. Because we have friends for different things. So if you're going to be in a place where you're hoping to be found and you want a certain type of caliber of man, you want to leave drunk bestie at home. Because men do look at who you associate with also. And they'll sum you up by what you associate with as well. So I just wanted to add that, Tar.
Yeah, you might not even want to hang out with drunk Destiny. You might want to cut her off anyway. You might want to cut her off anyway. But and I also want to add, because a lot in this day and age, a lot of people do online dating.
Yeah.
A lot of men do online dating, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But be very careful. They have a lot of free online dating apps. If you are serious, this is just my opinion, Tara's opinion. If you're going to date online, use a paid, reputable dating site. Because 9 times out of 10, now you can find some shiesty men that will pay to be on a site. They just looking for some honey. They looking to take your money. So, but if you're gonna do online dating, use a dating site that's gonna cost you something and that's gonna cost him something. Because when it costs you something, there's a value that comes with it. And people, when they start spending money, they value the people that they're meeting and their time. So I don't want to leave out dating sites, because your husband, your wife being listed, they may not be here in this city. They may be somewhere else. They may be somewhere else. So if you're going to use online dating sites, make sure that they are reputable ones, and be honest about what you're looking for. And listen, and I keep saying be honest, ask questions. Ask the questions. You don't have to get a person an interview on the first date, but ask questions. You know, what you like to do. You know, what you've been doing for the last 10 years. You know, how, you know, if they're talking about, you know, I was married, you know, ask them about their marriage so you can kind of get some insight on what their mindset is, how they think. You know, what are your plans for the next few years? What led you to this dating site? Or what led you, you know, to be here? How did you get here? Why aren't you dating? You know, ask those questions. You know, are you not in a relationship? Those are the questions that you want to ask people. And so it can open the doorway up to other meaningful conversations where they can gain information and insight about you, and you can gain information and insight about them.
Yeah.
Don't rush it. So I think, Melody, you said it. Stop trying to rush things. You don't have to meet them today, and in June you marry. You don't have to
and
do
at
that.
some point within that online dating, there needs to be a video call somewhere.
Yeah.
Know.
Oh, they need to be a whole look. Y'all talking on the phone more than 3 times. I need to see how you look, brother. I need to see that you know. I don't like big boys. I don't need to see that you 5'2" and you 650 pounds. And I don't think I can see this. I don't want to see that. I need to see you. I don't want to see that, you know, when you got a good game and then you have no teeth in your mouth. I don't want to see that. And I'm just joking, y'all. Y'all know I like to laugh. But I'm just saying. You know, I'm just saying. So you need to be able to see. Look, you got all these apps and telephones. Look, y'all can see each other talk. You know, ask the right questions. Because I like to laugh. So I'll probably tell them, look, you don't look like buckwheat, do you? So you want to make sure. But if you like buckwheat, hey, it's okay. So, but yeah. And one young lady said she met she found a boyfriend on the dating site and they're still together. It's people that have gotten married, they dated, they found their husband, their soulmates on those types of dating sites. So don't dismiss them. Especially now we're doing things differently. You're doing a lot of things differently. So, and really what and I know our time is almost up, but what we don't do enough is have friendships. Conversate with people and develop a friendship, because every person that you meet may not be in your life to be your boyfriend or your husband. He may be, or she may be there for another whole reason. So you want to be mindful of that. You know, everybody, even though you're dating, but everybody you meet may not be entering your life to be in that type of intimate relationship. They may be, I say this, people come in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. A reason or a season or a lifetime. So be mindful. I'm the type of person, and this is me personally, I don't care who it is. If it is a male or a female, I'm always prayerful of why this person has entered my life. What's the reason this person has entered my life? What's my reason for this, for me entering that person's life? Because I've made a lot of mistakes in the past, not dating with friends and all type of stuff. So I'm prayerful. What is the reason that this person has entered my space? Because 9 times out of 10, it may be, to help them with something personally or something else. It may not lead to a relationship. It may just lead to a friendship or for a certain season or something else. So be mindful, be prayerful about that.
Yeah, that's true. So,
Yeah.
and while we're talking about, well, I know our time is almost up,
You got
with
time.
everything that's going on. And, I seen the video where Carmen and Tiffany did the video dating. They did a date through video. He had the
Who is
dinner
Carmen
sent
and
over.
Tiffany?
Yeah, we got to, you know, come up
You
with
know, I don't
different.
know who
Yeah,
Carmen and Tiffany is. You got to tell me, Mel.
Tiffany Haddish, the comedian. Common, the
Oh, okay.
rapper. They did that like a commercial or whatnot, and I thought it was so neat. With
Okay.
COVID and everything that was going on, they were in two different locations, but he sent her flowers. He had her meal Uber to her, and they sat down, they watched the movie together, even though they were in two different locations. So
Okay.
online dating and dating someone in a different area, it can work for you. You just got to, realize what it takes and be willing to put in the work for it to work.
Yes. Yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. So listen, ladies, listen, and men too, dating over 40. It does not have to be a nightmare. You just need to first make sure before you decide to date anybody. You can be over 20. If you are dating from a hurt place, don't date anybody until you get healed. Don't date anyone until you get healed because you don't want to go in a sharp knife and cut up somebody else's life. You want to make sure that you are healed before you go into someone else's life. And men, the same thing. The same thing. And make sure you know if, and Melody said it earlier, if you just if you just dating just for sex, be honest and tell the person you just there
Yeah,
for the sex.
yeah.
If that's what it
Please do.
is, and give them the opportunity to say, hey, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. Be
Yeah,
honest and be honest. Be honest because you have women. We love the dog out men, and I'm not in the dogging out men. We have women that, unfortunately, they just want sex. They don't really want a relationship. They just want you to come and satisfy them and go on home. You know, unfortunately, but that can be because they're coming from a hurt place, a hurt place, or they got some other stuff going on. Whatever. But you want to make sure that you have integrity when you potentially become a part of someone's life, that you act in integrity. Because let me share this before we close. Y'all call it karma. My word, call it seed time and harvest. You reap, there is a harvest for every plant seed that you plant. So you want to make sure the seeds that you're planting, they are good seeds so you can get a good harvest. You don't date with integrity. If the person is not something that you want to be with, just be honest. Be honest. Say, hey, I like you, but this is not what I'm really looking for. And be honest. Be honest. Don't drag people along. Don't use people for their money. Don't use people for their sex. Don't use people for their influence or what they can. Don't do that. Men or women, don't do it because listen, the harvest is always greater than the seed that you plant. And you might not get the harvest, but you may have children that's coming up that they got to go through the mess that you planted. So please be mindful. Please be mindful. Please be mindful. And people are, they anxiety levels are high. People kill you by crazy stuff these days. So y'all be careful out there. If that's what you're going to do. Melody closes out.
all right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this week, and I know I enjoyed the conversation today, and I hope we were able to help you in some type of way. You're able to walk away with something from this show on tonight. And I guess we will see you all next week on Talk Therapy. Y'all have a good
Yes.
one.
Remember to follow us on IG. I am Let's Talk Tara. Melody is inspired by Melody. Inspired by Melody. Make sure you guys follow us and listen. We're here every Tuesday. This is Talk Therapy. Talk Therapy.
Thank you so much for joining us. Come back next week for more real, raw, and relevant information here at Talk Therapy.